This is what Becky did last night, and in this video I'm going to show you how I coloured this crazy hairstyle with my Polychromo pencils. Let's take a look. So I've chosen a selection of Polychromos colours. I've got a mix of lights and darks. I've got a bit of purples, browns and some more red tones, which I think are going to complement this colour palette. So I'm starting with my darkest pencil, which is the Caput Mortem Violet, with a nice sharp point to my pencil, and I'm starting at the darker parts of her hair. And what you want to do when you're colouring hair is to take sections, and if you want to get that nice shine, you want to imagine that the hair closest to the scalp is darker, and as the hair poofs away from the head you're going to get lighter. Now when we're mixing up colours like this, so we're not using typical colours to blend together light to dark, you want to ignore the colour and just go for the shade of that colour. So whatever colours you've picked, the darkest ones are going to go closer to the scalp. So here at the roots I'm using this colour first, doing nice light flicks. I want to try and keep as much definition in that hair as I can, and then I will go through my colours and step down from dark to light. The other thing I want to do is any sections of hair that I think might be overlapping another section at the back, I want to make sure that's almost outlined with my darker colours as well. The next colour I'm using here is Red Violet, and I'm just starting from where I left off with that last colour and flicking with a bit of overlap into the centre of our shapes. The next two colours I'm going to use interchangeably because they're about the same shade in their colours, and that is Venetian Red and Light Red Violet. So I'm just going to use those the same in the same process. So I'm just going dark to light, flicking into the centre a little bit more, and then when I'm done with the Venetian Red I'm going to do the same with the Light Red Violet. Now I'm going in with the raw umber, and I'm sure you've worked it out by now. We just keep flicking, we're following the lines that the artist has drawn, and we're just bringing those colors out. Because this hairstyle isn't a typical color palette to go for, so for example it's just multicolored and it's just all the colors thrown in together, which is what makes this one quirky. I'm not being too precious about getting it exactly right or anything. Again, I'm just focusing on making sure that the darker colors are where they belong and the lighter colors are in the highlights. And then once I'm finished with this color, I'm going to finish off with cinnamon. Now that I've finished all the colours, I'm bringing in my black pencil to really give the shape of her hair some contrast and to really distinguish the form. So this is going to be used sparingly. It's just going to be used at places where the roots are and just a little bit of overlapping on the different layers through her hair, but not too much. So now that the first pass of the hair's done on that section, I'm just going to do the eyebrows whilst I have the colours out, and then I'm going to do my second pass of that entire section, deepening the colours, letting them intermingle a little bit more so that it's not just going over the same exact line as I just did, to try and get some tiny blending through the different colours, but otherwise trying to still keep the definition of all the hair strokes. And now I'm just going to repeat that whole process on the other sections. This section that I'm working on here is obviously behind a lot more foliage, so I'm going to really focus on bringing in more shadows in that area. And then when I get onto the braids, I'm going to focus on making sure my darker shades are right at the folds and overlaps, and the highlights is in the center of the loop for each of those sections on the braid. And that's the hair finished. So I hope that's been useful for you. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I hope to see you again soon.